Okay, so you need your reading workbook, which is the yellow softcover practice book, it says on the front. Um, and you need to open up to page 98. You need a highlighter and a pencil. If you need to pause the recording while you go get those things, go ahead. Okay, so you can see this workbook page talks about conclusions and generalizations. A conclusion is just the same thing like an inference, where you use the clues in the text they call it drawing a conclusion. You're not actually drawing a picture. It means that you are coming to a conclusion. You're figuring something out, kind of using clues like a detective. Generalizations are when you say something is overall true about something. So we're going to read this selection called Storm at Sea, and we are going to draw a conclusion and make a generalization about this story. So I need you to read along with me. So follow my cursor so that you're practicing reading too. Let's go ahead and highlight our title, Storm at Sea. So we know our main idea is there's going to be something happening here, or there's a storm at sea. I see quotation marks, so I'm thinking this is probably a story. Maybe it's fiction. So it should be kind of entertaining. Definitely takes place at sea. All right. Batten down the hatches, boys. The gale force is upon us. The captain shouted orders as he staggered across the deck. So we know this is a deck of a sea craft, of a boat or something. It was nearly impossible to stay upright as the vessel pitched and tossed like a loose cork bobbing in a tub. I thought of the ballast of stone and wondered how light and breezy we seemed as the wind increased. What would the teeth of the storm bring? Get below, the captain bellowed, motioning wildly. Had he determined our fate? Were we heading for port through a thicket of fog? Were we bound to capsize on the rocks? Capsize means that's when a ship falls over. And so he's thinking they're going to wreck into the rocks and fall over and sink. Oh, or were we staying put to let the storm pass over us, leaving us battered and buffeted but upright? That is, if we didn't sink, which at the moment seemed likely. Just then a huge wave rose up to the height of the spar in the mainmast. A mast is like the big... You've seen them on the ships, like okay, it's easier just to show you. These are some pictures of masts. So it's like the big poles where on a ship, here's some masts that you can look at, that the sails will hang off of and they can go. Helps them blow in the wind. Okay, anyway. Uh-oh. So, back to our story. So that's what a mast is. Okay, so just then a huge wave rose up to the height of the spar in the main mast. So that's a huge wave. It's all the way up to the top. I lunged for the opening in the deck, diving head first down the hatch as the sea chased behind me, crashing and roaring. So he basically dove into like a hole in the deck to get down below. My own fear was reflected in the pale, stricken faces of my crewmates, clinging to the sides of the ship, clinging to life. We stumbled and swayed, neither daring nor able to climb above deck. And then the storm swept past. Those of us crouched in the hold climbed up onto the deck to find calm seas and clear skies. There was no sign of the captain or the first mate. Uh-oh. Once we reached our home port, we unloaded. Then we made repairs and made ready for a new captain who would steer us back out to sea. Okay, so now we need to answer our questions. Number 1, what can you conclude about the captain and the first mate? So you're going to want to use some evidence from up here. Use your schema, what you know, your background knowledge, and you want to draw a conclusion about what happened to the captain and the first mate. Number 2, What generalization can you make about sailors like the ones in the selection? So a generalization, again, is what could you say overall? What could you say in general about most sailors? Okay? How would you describe the most sailors based on the ones in this selection? Okay, so go ahead and write your answers in complete sentences on the lines, and we will go over the answers tomorrow.